Here we have two different flex plates. This is our SFI heavy duty flex plate, and this is the SFI billet flex plate. The main difference between the two is that this is actually a stamped steel piece. So they take a thickness of steel that's about twice the thickness of the OEM flex plate, and they stamp it to fit, and they weld the ring gear onto the flex plate. This plate is something that we've run in trucks up to 1,000 horsepower. I actually ran this in the quad cab for DPC 2014 and 2015. Eventually, when I had the triples on it, I actually had this flex plate fail around 1,300 or 1,400 horsepower. I can't remember exactly. It was mostly torque. So generally, when we're going over 1,000 horsepower, we recommend going to the billet flex plate. You can see the difference in how these two flex plates pilot to the crankshaft. These center themselves with these 4 tabs and then are tightened with the bolts, and this has a machine lip all the way around the outside. So for a truck that is making a lot of horsepower, we do recommend going to the billet flex plate. This also has a 12-bolt design in it, and that is mostly beneficial if you're running extreme horsepower, 2,000 plus horsepower, and you need 12 bolts. You can run all 12, but on most street trucks we would run 6 bolts. But then if you ever have torque converter bolts come loose and you mess up 6 holes, you can rotate it and reuse your flex plate, and it saves you the hassle of having to buy a flex plate if your flex plate bolts come loose. So there's the comparison between the stamped steel heavy duty SFI plate and the billet SFI plate. If you're wanting to use ARP crank bolts, these are the bolts that go from the flex plate to the crankshaft, and the part number is ARP 147-2901, and that is something that Firepunk has in stock, but you can also order these to anybody that's an ARP dealer, and it is something that is not necessary to use on your standard trucks, but trucks that have high horsepower, we do recommend going to an ARP bolt so you can get more clamping force for your flex plate to crank holding power.